Dirty dealings, corporate battles, consumer woes. This is Evening 5. Bank Negara said it will issue licenses to any digital insurers and takaful operators that meet its requirements instead of limiting the number of licenses to just 5. Applications are open starting January 2nd, 2025 to December 31st, 2026, though interested applicants must consult with the central bank before submitting their bids, BNM said in a statement. A policy document on licensing and regulatory framework has been issued. According to BNM, DITOs will observe a foundational phase over a period of between 3 years and up to 7 years to demonstrate their viability and operational soundness. DITOs will also be accorded a lower minimum paid-up capital during the foundational phase to be more proportionate to DITO's business operations at their initial stages. BNM explains that DITOs are characterized by their digital operations, with innovative business models and products to better meet consumer needs. Once in operations, DITOs are envisioned to close critical protection gaps in digitally focused segments alongside existing insurers and takaful operators and other players in the insurance and takaful value chain. As such, the central bank will issue licenses to applicants who successfully demonstrate their capability to achieve the intended policy outcomes while still preserving a strong focus on risk management and consumer protection. Johor Plantations Group is exploring alternative revenue sources from its unutilized land, diversifying beyond traditional plantation uses, according to its MD Muhammad Faris Adli Shukeri. Faris was addressing questions about the group's plans to lease lands for large-scale solar ventures. The planter owns 56,000 hectares of plantation land and is looking to assess the right scheme before committing to solar power generation. Meanwhile, the proposed windfall profit levy on palm oil is expected to impact local plantation players, according to the group's chairman Tan Sri Dr. Ismail Bakar. However, Ismail says it will depend on how much the government imposes the levy rate. Shares in Johor Plantations opened flat in their trading debut after it raised 735 million from the country's largest initial public offering in more than 2 years. The counter opened at 84 sen, unchanged from its IPO price before dipping to 83 sen. It managed to climb as high as 93 sen but was unable to hold on to its gains, closing at 90 sen. Johor Plantations was the most actively traded stock on Bursa Malaysia today, with over 178 million shares traded. The plantation player's IPO is the largest in terms of proceeds since Farm Fresh back in March 2022, which raised 1 billion ringgit. Banks cannot just blame their customers for losses from scams unless there is evidence of client negligence in protecting personal security information, said Deputy Finance Minister Lim Hui Ying. Every case of financial scams will be investigated, Lim told the Dewan Rakyat on Tuesday. For cases caused by weaknesses in the bank system or risk management practices, the bank will bear the responsibility for the losses, she said. However, if evidence clearly shows that security details were compromised due to the client's negligence, the bank should consider offering appropriate compensation, according to Lim. Victims have the right to accept or reject compensation offers and can lodge complaints with the Ombudsman for Financial Services for any disputes over compensation amounts. From 2020 to mid-2023, there were 18,238 scam cases involving the banking sector, with 11% or about 2,000 cases brought to the OFS. Of those cases, 75% have been resolved. To enhance client protection, Lim notes that Bank Negara had updated its policy on unauthorized online banking transactions. Under the update, compensation will consider the effectiveness of institution security controls against financial scams and clarifies the roles of consumers and banks in addressing online financial scams. Theta Edge's wholly owned subsidiary, Theta Telecoms, has secured a 673.8 million contract for developing, providing and maintaining Internet of Things technology for smart business initiatives in Ampang Jaya. In a BOS filing, the Information Communication and Technology Service Provider announced that the contract, awarded by the Ampang Jaya Municipal Council, will run for 240 months from July 15th, 2024 to July 14th, 2044. Theta Edge said the contract contract will enhance the company's position in digital communication, engineering services, specialized communication networks, and the smart city industry. It is expected to positively impact the company's earnings per share and net assets per share for FY 2024 and beyond. Meanwhile, Theta Edge also announced the appointment of former Sekjen in the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, Tan Sri Abdul Rahman Mamat, as its new chairman. Besides Abdul Rahman, Theta Edge also appointed Datuk Dey Saidia Abu Mohan as a non-independent, non-executive director of the board. The Home Ministry has instructed that the gates of all police stations in the country to be closed after 10 p.m. as a security measure following the attack on Ulu Tiram Police Station. Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the order was issued to balance the needs of the public and the safety of the personnel on duty. He was replying during the question and answer session at Dewan Raya on Tuesday to Datuk Sri Richard Riot's initial question about security measures at police stations in the country following a fatal attack on May 17th. Saifuddin said the Royal Malaysian Police had acted immediately to tighten standard operating procedures in all district police headquarters, police stations, and main police premises following the attack. These include the frequency of patrols in police station areas and the need to study the current conditions of police station facilities such as lighting and fencing for improvement.